because he was such on a high that he probably could have fell off the cliff. You know what I'm saying? And when you take away what you love, man, it humbles you. And I think is a different kind of focus. And I think that's dangerous.
So you mentioned danger, so someone's got to pay that price. Obviously, he's facing Rolly Romero.
For sure.
The beef between them. How do you see that fight playing out? And do you see Ryan potentially knocking out Rolly?
Yeah, I see it being in I see it being like Oscar versus Mayorga. You know what I mean? Obviously Ryan being Oscar, and Rolly coming in with the wild punches, trying to land something big, and Ryan just staying nice and sharp and throwing quick shots right in between, and catching Rolly with that left hook.
Before we get into the Devin Haney beef, just want to ask you, what are your thoughts on? I know you called out Chavez Jr. before, but man, it looks like Jake Paul beat you to the punch. Jake Paul. So what do you make of that matchup between them?
No, man. Well, I never really could take Chavez serious, only because, unfortunately, the man suffers from personal problems, whether there is addiction, whatever the case may be, man. So he's just a guy that really is not healthy. You know what I'm saying? So, I really don't think he should even be fighting. Honestly, man, I just think it's kind of like, I get it from the standpoint of Jake Paul, where Jake Paul needs a name, and he needs someone a lot younger than 60 years old. But you're picking and choosing the right guy. You're choosing a guy that is wore out, a guy that's in and out of rehab, a guy that's dealing with personal issues. That guy, that's a guy that has a name, but he ain't fit to fight. And it's kind of sad, man, because I think what Jake Paul is doing for boxing is great, especially for women boxing and the money he's generating. And I think he's a great promoter. But as a fighter, you're kind of being a bully now. And if you think about it, Robinson suffered from kidney disease. Ben Askren, he was fresh out of a hernia surgery. When I sparred the man maybe 2 weeks of the fight, he could barely throw a punch. Then you got Mike Tyson, blood transfusion, 8 weeks away from the fight. Did he have mercy on Mike because he didn't want to hurt Mike because he respected Mike? Or did he hold back because if he actually landed some shit, he probably would have killed Mike? Like, seriously, he probably would have killed Mike because Mike wasn't healthy. Now you picking on a guy that has a drug addiction, and it's great if Chavez makes the money, but come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's time where Jake really wants to prove himself as a boxer, is, step up the competition and fight someone that's actually healthy.
So you didn't think the Gervonta-Jake Paul fight was an even fight?
Well, come on. It's like, come on. And even that is hilarious. Like, can you imagine Wilder calling out a welterweight? Can you imagine, like, Dubois calling out a welterweight? Or even calling out a middleweight? It's like, come on, man. It's not boxing. It's entertainment. So let's call it for what it is. Jake Paul is a great promoter. He's a great promoter. And he's good for boxing because he's bringing eyeballs to the sport. He's getting females paid. He brought Netflix into it. But come on, bro. You're 220. Tank is 135. Now, I'm not saying, obviously, Tank, his pedigree, world-class guy, but it's just weird that you're calling out a guy that's so small. And I get it, the entertainment aspect of it, but that's not boxing. That's a different thing. So let's just call it for what it is, man. And it's like, I'm not even trying to diss him or throw jabs at him, but Jake doesn't know the tradition of boxing. Let's just be honest. He didn't grow up watching the sport. He doesn't know the tradition of it. He's in it, and since he has so much influence because of his following, he could kind of bend the rules. But can you imagine Crawford talking like that? Or Canelo talking like that? Like, everybody be like, what the hell y'all talking? Can you imagine Canelo calling out Tank? You'd be like, what? But Jake could do it because he comes from the influencer world. But at the end of the day, man,
it works for him, but it doesn't work
at the end of the day, let's call it influencer boxing. Let's not call it world-class boxing or boxing, period. Him and Mike Tyson, how did that get licensed? Tyson just 60 years old, coming off blood transfusions. Come on.
Yeah. You don't think Jake ever wins a world title?
Well, what I'm saying is, I don't even think he's aiming for that. I just think he's robbing the bank. He's making money. So, you know, at this rate, okay, is great because he's making a lot of money. So that's great. But so if it's just about money, then keep doing what you're doing. But if you want to be solidified as a real fighter and you want people to give you your props, then you got to do what fighters do. You got to fight somebody at least somewhere near your level. You know what I'm saying? Because look, we already know what happened when he fought someone that was an actual boxer, Fury.
Yeah.
I mean, he lost. So, you know, my thing is this, man. Some people will be like, "Yo, you sound like you hating God." I'm not. It's not that. It's just I don't like when you're taking advantage and you're being a little bit of a bully. Like I said, all these fighters had all serious health problems going into fights with Jake. This sport's too dangerous. The way he knocked out Nate Robinson, that's dangerous. And then he had a kidney. And then the way you knocked out Ben, come on, man.
You're putting people in danger.
It's dangerous, man. So let's not play. You know what's gonna happen, man? He gonna fight somebody. He gonna fight somebody that has these problems, man, and he gonna hurt them bad. Where it's gonna be like life changing. And then we're gonna see how funny it is what you're doing. We're gonna see how smart and clever it is that you're doing when you actually hurt somebody. Because you can actually fight and you got power. So stop being a bully. Just fight
Someone who
somebody.
got hurt on his last fight, obviously, was Devin Haney. Team Haney wasn't too happy with the comments you said. I know you guys went on live.
Yeah.
What's the latest between you guys? Is peace now in talks, or is it,
No.
Ukraine against the
It's
US?
just it was what it was, and that's it. We don't gotta talk no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I gave my opinion on saying that Ramirez was the wrong opponent. That's all I said, because I've said you got to be smart in how you pick your comeback, especially when you come off of that kind of defeat. It wasn't like you lost. It's the equivalent of a car wreck. So you got to really be careful, and especially if you're fighting a guy that packs a punch like Ramirez. So that's all it was. They took a person on 2 shots, and then it just turned into a big old,
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, yeah, we got boxing to talk about it, so at
Yeah.
least promote the fight. Lastly,
Yeah.
for me, obviously, you have a new podcast with Abner Mares, man. You guys are doing a great work. Just
Yeah.
tell the Pheno boxing followers where they can tune in, and obviously how often you guys put out, push out.
Yeah, man, we doing an episode every Thursday. Episode actually just dropped today with unified champion Oscar Collazo. I was in Puerto Rico, so I did an interview with Oscar Collazo, man. So we got that. And man, just expect every Thursday for us to drop new content. Me and Abner, man, Abner works with Amazon. I work with DAZN. So it's like we're just bringing it together, man, and just talking facts and just pretty much calling it how we see it. You know what I'm saying? Not being biased. Even if it's our boy, the fighter could actually be a friend of ours. We're just gonna be honest, man. This is nothing personal. We actually have a topic where we go, don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying? So there's a part where we go, don't take it personal, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And look, here's the thing, man. Me as a fighter, of course, I've gotten a bunch of criticism. I've gotten a bunch of things that I've read from journalists or whatever, but it's part of the game. Don't take it personal. So Abner knows what it is. Abner been knocked out before. I've been stopped. We've had our bad moments and our good moments. So we're sharing things from our opinion. We're not really like coming at nobody.
That was my last question. You were a fighter. Obviously, you heard critics while you were active talk about you. Does it surprise you that Haney is like, or do you understand that because you were a fighter and you kind of...
No. The way he came at me, I don't understand it at all, because I didn't come at them personally. You know what I'm saying? I came at him in the aspect of, yo, this is a dangerous fight. Ramirez is a former champion. He's still young. Like, you don't know how you're going to bounce back. Maybe you want to test the waters, but not with this kind of caliber of a fighter. And that's all I was saying. Where obviously what I was pretty much doing for him was laying the deck for him to prove me wrong. So really, in all honesty, he should have been like, damn, that's the reality, and that's how people are really seeing it. Let me prove them wrong. But he took it the other way around, and he came at me, and that was that. You know what I'm saying? But it was no hate, man. I actually thought that Haney would beat Ryan, because I thought Ryan, his antics were gonna backfire on him. But like I say, he did the okie doke on us. Yeah.
Gabe, much success on the podcast.
No
bro.
doubt.
Good
Thank you,
stuff.
brother. Thank you,
Thank
man.
you, bro.